You say it.
Ted Hut. Good evening, fellow YouTubers. We're here at Avisa, 500 South Russell Street. We're coming with part two of this broadcast, and today's broadcast again is entitled "Some Gave All and All Gave Some." This is our second live podcast, as we promise to come to you every Monday and Wednesday as much as possible with recorded videos, and on Thursdays with our live broadcast. And this evening, you have myself, Greg Harris, and Mr. Banks, the general manager here at Avisa. We operate here on a daily basis. Today's subject, first of all, I want to say thank you to each and every person who follow us on Facebook, who have looked us up on YouTube and follow us as well. And also, the month of October is just a couple of days away. We appreciate those who made a donation in the month of September, and we're looking forward for contributors to make a donation again in October. And once again, thank you so very much for that.
Well, one thing about it, okay, gonna say, and you know what I'm saying? Say Eagle flies on Friday. Now he done flew today, so we already know the VA checks in the mail, and we need some help. And so we're gonna keep saying it, and we again, I'm gonna reiterate what Mr. Sergeant Harris said. We thank you for your contribution because this is what help keeps this operation going. As we said previously, we don't have a product to sell, but we do our best to try to keep this operation going so that we can help veterans wherever and whenever and however we can help them. So that's what we do down here at all Veterans Empowerment Services. Yeah, again, we're back trying to get information out to each our people, our veterans, so that we can keep aware of what's going on. I mean, I looked at that thing about McGregor. I'm just kind of talking there, but on that big controversy that's going on about the NFL, pledging allegiance to the flag. I don't know.
Right behind us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we got it behind us. So I agree with the fellas. It wasn't all about pledging allegiance, but rather with rights, making sure that people got equal rights. One thing that we make sure we do here at Avisa is that make no difference whether you male, female, whether you black, white, brown, green, whatever. When you come in for services, we do our best to help assist you in processing the claim for benefits. Although we get frustrated sometimes because you go out and help people and they get blessed and turn around and then don't turn around and help bless everybody else. And this is again, this is veterans helping veterans. So when you get blessed, then I think it's more fitting that you ought to bless the organization or people that help bless you to get where you are.
And that's also true, very true. Charity starts at home and goes abroad. And we understand you have bills to take care of. We understand that you have this and that. We also have bills and this and that to take care of as well. And we still provide a service. So it's not to browbeat you anything, but we operate on a volunteer basis. And last thing we want to do is see these doors closed. We know the state and federal government is out there, but they don't provide the assistance as Mr. Cottrell and Mr. Bank does. I mean, they're thorough at what they do, and they have a lot more time and leeway than the actual federal and state government would actually have to deal with you. You're not just a number when you walk through those doors. You're not a client. You're a veteran. You are a human being, and you're being treated as such. And that's a rare quality in today's time frame.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Today, we kind of talked about last time. We talked about the DIC benefit and that for spouses and for benefits for the educational benefits for dependents or children of the veterans who are service connected. And so what we trying to do is continue to educate everybody on what to do one thing that, and I kind of mentioned the last time, one thing we're gonna make sure we do, uh, I'm of the opinion, and I don't know about anybody else, but I think it's a travesty that when our spouses that are left behind by veterans who are deceased based upon service-connected disability, look like to me they get the short end of the stick. They're getting treated worse than stepchildren sometimes. So that's just my own opinion. And so we have to try to do something to eradicate that situation. I mean, we do a lot of things going on in the world that don't, to me, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Some crazy stuff, but when you sit down talking about helping others, what are you doing? What are we doing? And that's the whole key. I believe veterans and their spouses probably would be better off if we all, I know they would, if we all got together and recognized the fact it didn't make no difference. When I was in Vietnam, I was an American soldier.
That's right.
All right. And even though there were maybe been some pockets of racism and discrimination, the fact of the matter is, when them bullets started flying from the enemy, it didn't make no, it didn't have no color on the bullet to tell you whether you're going to hit who. It just said we all got in that fought together. And I always hear people say, well, when I was in law, my best friend was someone of another nationality. Then when we come home, we ain't friends no more. That, and I know that experience happened. But the fact is, when we were in the trenches, everybody was there trying to do one thing: survive. And that's what's going on right here with what we're doing, trying to help you out. We're trying to survive because I'm gonna tell you, there are veterans out here in this little old town that we're in, Fort City, Arkansas, that are sitting on the streets, sitting downtown, begging for quarters and begging for dollars when they're decorated Vietnam veterans, wounded veterans, and all, and they're so disenchanted with the slow process of the system that they don't even want to come down there and take the time to file a process claim. Now, somebody said, well, that's their own fault. Well, I think if the system was more apt to help than prolong, and that's just my own personal opinion. I mean, why should it take 5 years to get a simple claim process through the system? And I understand that probably, I know there's a great majority of veterans in these United States that served in the military in all branches of service. So I don't know whether we don't have enough people over there working in the system to help, but it's crazy that you have to go sometimes these people going 5 years before they get a claim adjudicated. And in a lot of cases, people, veterans die while their claim is in process. And then when they die, when they deceased, then they turn around and told that the claim don't exist no more because they deceased. Well, what about all that time that was spent, the 5 years that was spent? So it's a shame, and it's bad when there's no recognition when we out here in these in the society trying to help veterans, and then everybody says, well, who is that fellow sitting there, or who is this person think he is trying to do this to help veterans get the benefit, when all at the same time, when we was in that war, I think they were glad to see you go over and fighting over it. It ain't just Vietnam, Gulf War and all these other places. Veterans out there in those conditions, in those situations, they're out there not fighting just for themselves, but they're fighting for this whole country and this whole nation. So that's basically where I see us going right now. We're here to try to help eradicate some of that that failure of veterans even file a claim, and then when they file a claim, try to hurry up and get the claims adjudicated so it doesn't take such a long process. And that's the key thing about it. We have no control of how long a claim is going to sit in somewhere in some VA office, sitting on somebody's desk, and not even looked at.
That's right.
And I'm not up there, but I just believe that happened because again, I say it doesn't make sense to me that if you file a claim for post-traumatic stress disorder, why is it taking 5 years to get the claim adjudicated when you got a veteran out there who have on his record or in her record where you can see that they were in combat or when they was in distressful situation, and their record shows, and you got medical history backing it up, and then yet when you get through that don't make sense to me. I mean, you got medical history to show this person. Here we got a guy who shot in Vietnam, shot in the face. It took him almost 10, 20 years just to get his little money. Because when he got shot in the face, it tore off half his jaw. And so he still had to go through all that heartache and pain. They fixed him, they fixed the face best they could, but fixing the face and they said you out here without being able to function in society, that's another thing. And so I don't think that veterans ought to be abandoned like that, and they ought not have to be feeling stressful when they go to the Department of Veterans Affairs or VA Medical Center, and then we know that those benefits, those claims that are being processed because of service-connected disability, and yet there's so much discouragement when they go to see VA Medical Center doctors. That's just the way it is. Lacking a lump. The fact is, there ought to be a better. I think what it is, but Sergeant Harris is simple. You got people, so many people up there working in VA ain't never been in the service.
That's another thing.
That's the whole problem. That's one of the greatest problems. They're working, they never been in the military, don't want to go to the military, never been in a war. They don't know anything about being in the trenches, ducking gunfire, hoping that a scud, one of them bombs don't blow you up, or ride down the highway and you run over 550-pound bomb, blow you to smithereens. If everybody experienced it, then you would know when a veteran came over to the office or to a VA medical center, how to treat that veteran with more dignity and respect. You talking about a flag? Well, once you treat these people who fought in the war, the flag ain't fought nobody.
That's right.
But if you treat these veterans with dignity and respect, that's what you need to be talking about. Just my personal opinion. So, I mean, that's where it's at. And so we trying to look at where we were at in our operation. I mean, because we've been in business here. We've been doing this since 2010. And
2010.
Huh?
You said 2010.
2010. I'm sorry. Did I say 10,000?
You said that's a long time.
2010.
That's a mighty long time.
And we've been doing this, but my point is this: that it doesn't slack up. It's not getting, claims are not getting any easier. Matter of fact, the number of people that's coming through the system is increasing. You get snack time, but most of the time, because these young people going to the war now, they're getting out, and it's more prevalent now, I believe, with the problem that they're having than what we had when I came through. I mean, I don't know, Gulf War. I looked at the Gulf War disease. Man, I look at all this stuff that happened to these veterans over there. And you was in that theater, wasn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In Iraq and Afghanistan, and Iraq was the dry heat where, sick call was every other day with breathing problems. And, there were times where they said, hey, there's nothing wrong with them or nothing wrong with her. It's all mental. It was much more than that because, to be honest with you, I'm 39 now, and I had my first heart attack at 33. And the VA specifically told me it was due to your military service. So the issues are happening.
Oh yeah, that's that's rough. I mean, I know right now they got you with 100%.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I mean, but you are 30-something years old.
39 years old.
39 years
Yes,
old,
sir.
and can't go out and find a job that you can work at because of disability. And that's why I said, I mean, we right here doing all this other stuff. Once we get some more respect out, and I'm not talking about just the VA, I'm talking about the general public. I know I believe that I know the Gulf War veterans seems to me, in my opinion, at least they got more recognition than Vietnam veterans, especially when we got back home from Vietnam. I know when I got back home from Vietnam, it was almost like, what did I go fight for? Did I go fight for freedom? Then when I get back home, ain't no freedom. So the thing of it is that we have to say to the general population, and I believe what looking at that one thing what LeBron was saying, ain't no one somebody run this country. Everybody in this country has run this country, and has a contribution to be made. And so instead of our government trying to take care of everybody else's government, take care of the folks head on.
That's right.
We want to talk about the flag. Yeah, flag is a national symbol. We ought to look at it. I ain't gonna reverence no flag. I reverence only God. God is who I'm gonna reverence because He is the one who has given us life and liberty. So, in that sense, why I still say when we get around talking about showing where you're gonna show honor, respect, and all these things, honor your veterans because they're the ones who allow these freedoms that we have in the United States to persist. And I already know right now that even if it got bad, they come out this other stuff with Korea, it got bad enough, they'll call me and you back up in there next to them.
That's right.
That's just the pearls of life. So I would say to our constituency, those who help support Avisa, look, we need your continued support. We're gonna do this job as long as we have the finance, as long as we have the will and the desire to do it. But it also takes finances to do what you got to do to make sure we keep these operations going. And that's the main thing I'm trying to get over to the general public. So I don't know, but Greg, it just seems like sometimes we get to that attitude out of all the things that, cause when we get out talking about veterans benefits and veterans claims, there's still a whole lot of veterans that have not processed claims. If you're a veteran out there, I mean, why would you sit down and not process your claim simply because the process may be arduous, but you still got to process the claim and go through it.
That's right.
Instead of giving up. And one thing I try to tell all the people in the service: don't give up. Just keep, you're gonna go through that lengthy process of time-consuming efforts, and going to see. Another thing about the process of claims is that you have to go make those doctor's appointments. When they set up those appointments, you must make those appointments. You must be timely. You cannot, process a claim, then expect, oh, I'm just going to do nothing after that. Several claims that I've had, when after we do the notice of disagreement, VA, we know VA is going to send you a notice saying you got 60 days to notify VA what you're going to do. And lo and behold, people wait till the 59th day. Yeah. Some might to that they go 120 days, come down. Well, I want to file this notice of disagreement. You're too late. I mean, you want to file that form now. You know, you let the 60 days pass. Now you got to refile all this stuff over again. You got to come on, not only refile everything, now you got to come with new and material evidence. And we're going to talk about that, one of these days. Just sit down and just talk about what is the process of claim and filing the claim, and what is the process thereafter. That's why I said it takes time. And then the time that it takes to process and the time that going back and forth about what information you need to submit to VA, and then once they get it, now then somebody else has to look at it. And mind you, I understand that just about what we do down here, VA is doing a whole lot more people than we're having. And that is when those claims come in, you got to sit there and try to go through each one of those claims, try to decipher exactly what each one of them is saying. Where is there really a claim, is there not a claim? So even we have to do that. We don't file frivolous claims. And if you ain't got a claim, we tell you don't have a claim. And not because we some great agent, but the fact of the matter is just common sense that if you read the information that's provided for, you can pretty well determine whether the claim exists or it does not exist. Where we in doubt, I tell the client all the time, if you're in doubt about what you understand, file the claim. And because one thing about it, the Department of Veterans Affairs is going to study that claim. They're going to let you know whether you got a claim that's service connected. So, in that sense, I say to the clients all the time, when you file a claim, preceding file a claim, have your stuff in order. Write your arguments down. Write down what it is that you're looking for. Because if you just go to me, I want to file a claim, and I have more evidence to back it up, I can tell you right now, you're not going to win your claim. That's right. You got to have the evidence. One thing all veterans is your medical records, especially your military medical record. But when I came through, they didn't have what we got now. When veterans get out, they can get a CD, and on that CD they got all their files on the CD. I think we had access to what they call the old FISH, the early computer type situation. They call them FISH program. Yes, sir. And they weren't making that available to us. But now, if you're a veteran, all you gotta do is just say, look, I'll call the VA, Department of Veterans Affairs, or St. Louis with the records, and ask for your medical records and your military records. Because you don't assume that there's nothing in your record that will not reveal that it might have occurred while you were in the military. Get your records and make sure. You go through the record, and you may find that the complaint that you're trying to lodge, or disability you lodging, is simply something that happened to you while you were in service. All right, Brother Greg. And anything else?
One last thing about the timing is soon as, and we've stated this in other videos before that are going to be published down the road. Once the process, as Mr. Banks has stated, is for some, it varies. The timing varies for each veteran. One veteran may put in for this, and within a 90-day window get a response back, be it a denial or approval for service connected. But don't base your claim off anyone else's. Come in and take the time to put in your time that you need to get your claim approved. And then if it's just so happen to get disapproved, take the time for that as well.
Well, yeah, you got to look. You got to be patient in this process. No hurry up, guarantee to do this or that.
That's right.
And you might have the same problem that the next guy has, but when you go to putting it on paper, if it ain't It depends upon who gets your claim at VA. I mean, so everybody, all people got all kind of different understandings and may not even look at the evidence the same. But the key thing is you, as the veteran, should have all the information, the data, backup records, and file that that you have or can relate to a particular condition or disability or disease. And if your information is there and it is legitimate, it is evidence that we can be extrapolated as being sound evidence, and that it shows that it really occurred, your condition or your service-connected disabilities happening in the military, VA, I am confident, I've seen it too many times, they will take care of your claim and they will take care of you. I mean, so we're not even saying that VA won't take care. It just said that you have a responsibility as a veteran to provide the data and the information. If you ain't got the data, if the data's not there, you just can't make up something and throw it out there and say, well, I think I'm entitled, no, it don't work like that. And we don't want to put ourselves in a position to even work with you like that. We just rather tell you, we don't think you got nothing, then, because there's many other organizations out here who I believe are trying to help veterans, and who probably you may have already been to. I mean, we found people who go from one organization to the next trying to get a claim adjudicated or an alleged claim adjudicated, and find out that each organization is telling you the same thing. You don't have a claim. If you ain't got it, you don't have it. But if you got one, then you have to make sure that you provide the evidence to support and substantiate your claim. And that's the key thing. Not, families and friends. I tell people all the time, especially with post-traumatic stress disorder, how do you know a person got post-traumatic? If you really want to know, talk to the people that's around that person. Talk to the wife, the children. They'll tell you. Because one thing about post-traumatic stress disorder, if you've been in a situation in war and you wind up having, or you've been in a situation where you saw loss of life, you didn't have to be in a war. It could have been just here in domestic, and not in some foreign land, but here at home. And as a result, it traumatized you. And that's basically all it's talking about. What trauma did you go through that now is still a part of your life and you can't get rid of it, it's still bothering you, still causing you distress, anxiety, and all these things. Most veterans that I'm aware of with post-traumatic stress disorder, one of the major problems they can't go to sleep. They have sleep problems, real bad, because I don't know whether some of them because they don't want to go to sleep because they don't want to dream about the war. They don't want to dream about the death and carnage they saw. They don't want to go to sleep because they're just afraid that they're gonna wake up. So many different variables. But if you're a veteran, the best thing you do, just come on in and like I said, make sure you got your evidence together. Sit down and take the time to do it.
That's right.
Well, Greg, anything else?
That's basically it for me.
Okay. And we'll see y'all on the next time. At ease.